wanna be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Welcome back to the channel where the art is always random and sunlight. Today's drawing a new sketchbook vlog series, episode 60, I believe. I don't know, I always lose track. And it's about the Promised Neverland, a show you could probably only find on Netflix. I'm not really sure, but as far as I know, it is on Netflix for sure. I was recommended the show by one of my friends a few weeks ago, and I finally got around to watching it. Well, the beginning of it, because this is the first impressions video, and then I'll finish it later on. So, yeah. First of all, when I heard The Promised Neverland, which is the show I'm reviewing right now, I for some odd reason thought it was about Peter Pan and Disney stuff. So, yeah, because I heard Neverland and I was like, wait, isn't that the Peter Pan thing where they go to and they never age and that's the place? I don't know. It's been like 20 years. Okay, it hasn't been that long. It's been like 10 years, 15, but I have not watched that movie in so long, but yeah. The Promised Neverland has nothing to do with Peter Pan and Disney's. It's an anime stuff, so yeah. So before I continue, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And this is my first impressions video of the show, and hopefully you like it, and let's continue. So first of all, the show is kind of a thriller, not much action. I myself personally love action and just fighting anime and all that stuff. So for this, I was like, hopefully I like it, hopefully not. After watching Death Note, I was like, oh, maybe I should watch more thrillers. I'm actually starting to enjoy these. But I do like this show. Like I said, it keeps me thinking of what might happen next, and always has a lot of plot twists and things happening behind the scenes, sort of like Death Note. And let's talk about the main characters. So there's these three kids, Emma, Ray, and Norman. All of them are around 11 years old, and they are orphans living together with other kids in a house with a caretaker they call Mom. It's basically like a, sort of reminded me like of a nun, you know what I mean? Where they all call her mom or mother, and then she takes care of them, but without the mom, like the nursing, and you get what I'm saying. So this is kind of a spoiler, but it's really not. So these kids are the smartest and best of their, like, generation, I guess you could say. So they are treated the best because of that same reason, which will kind of be really important later on as you start learning about the show, but I'm not going to talk about that now. But what I will talk about is everything that happens in the first episode. So the first episode starts off with just the kids having fun things, running around, playing together, doing class together, learning, and you get to see right away Norman, Emma, and Ray, like I said, because they are the main characters, and you get to see how they are different from everybody else. They're the ones who are always done, and everybody's always jealous of them and how important they are to the show. So Ray, Emma, and Norman gather around. They start playing tag or whatever. But Ray's always the quiet one who just sits under a tree and reads books and learns. The other kids are just outrunning all the younger kids and just completely outsmarting them in every single way you could think of. At one point, they all gather together. They go near a fence, and then Ray goes there and is like, hey, you're not allowed to cross that. Remember that. And then it's basically like a cage. That's the way that I saw it, where they're not allowed to cross it. There's no real reason why, no explanation. They're just not allowed to go outside. So right away when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, is this kind of like a prison where they're just pretending to, actually like be super happy? The kids, of course, are super happy, but it's like a fake happy where they're not really happy, but they just are meant to be thinking that they're happy and enjoying everything else. So they gather around, whatever, they have a little conversation, you get to learn more about the place and everything else. And then later on in the episode, there's basically an adoption. There's a little girl, I forgot her name. Let's just call her the little girl with the bunny. The little girl with the bunny is finally adopted. She's taken by, all the kids are sad, of course, everybody misses her. I'm pretty sure it's Cammy. Okay, let's just call her Cammy. If it's not my fault. So Cammy's adopted. All the kids are crying. They're gonna miss her. They love her. They're one of the, like, family, basically. They grew up together. That's their sister. And Cammy's adopted. Everybody's sad. As it goes on, then Emma starts crying and everything else. Then the next scene happens. Cammy's gone. Emma runs into the kitchen or whatever they're sitting at. She picks up the bunny. He's like, oh my god, Cammy left her bunny. And then Ray comes around with Norman. It's like, oh, maybe you still have time to go drop the bunny off at the gate, because the gate is the magical place where they cross through that and nobody's allowed near it. So they get to the gate. The gate right there is kind of like open still. They made it in time. There's nobody around, and they're looking around. They're like, oh, what's going on here? What's happening? And then they're kind of like sketched out because it's really creepy and dark, and they hear just like random noises. So they go back to the back of a covered truck. It's kind of one of those military trucks where it's like they just got a blanket going down so nobody's able to look inside. They pull it up, and then there you go. You see Cammy dead with like a weird flower plant through her heart or chest. And everybody's creeped out. Norman's about to cry, and Emma's shaking, like crying and stuff. Then they hear a random noise. So what do? They hide underneath the truck. They are hiding, and then the one weird monster demon thing just starts like sniffing around. And you know, like anime shows, he finds he looks underneath the truck where the kids were hiding, and then he's like sniffing. He's like, and he finds the bunny, but of course somehow the kids magically disappeared, even though there was no possible way of them getting out without being caught. But plot twist, plot armor, whatever you want to call it. Once they get past that, then they go back, they start running back to the house. They're like, oh my god, it's crazy, we're actually like, no adoption actually happens, we're just cattle to them, and blah blah blah. And then the rest of the series is that, like, them trying to figure a way out. Like my friend Beluda says, gotta be a way out. And that's just how it is. Maybe they're trying to find out how to escape from there, and that's all I could really tell you without spoiling the rest. But that's basically the premise of the show. They're trying to find a way out of this prison, and how are they going to get there? I don't know. Or maybe I do, but I'm not just going to tell you. So I highly recommend this show so far. It's probably like a good 9 out of 10. It's going great. Hopefully it continues the pace. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you like my unplanned rant. Well, not rant, just like random review without actually planning it out. And thanks for watching for like the third time. I'm